On the 15th of November 2021, U.S. officials announced that they had detected a dangerous new debris field in orbit near Earth. On investigating the issue, it was found that Russia had destroyed one of its old satellites in a test of an anti-satellite weapon. So, let's analyze the issue thoroughly. Welcome to IQTab. In today's video, we will be talking about anti-satellite weapons and why Russia's exploded satellite is such a huge problem for the world. Russia launched an anti-satellite test that destroyed one of its older satellites. The satellite broke up and created thousands of pieces of debris in orbit, ranging in size from tiny specks up to pieces a few feet across. But before understanding all this, let's first try to understand what is an anti-satellite weapon. In simple words, anti-satellite weapons are any weapon that can temporarily impair or permanently destroy an orbiting satellite. The weapon that Russia just tested is known as a direct ascent kinetic anti-satellite weapon. These are usually launched from the ground or from the wings of an airplane and destroy satellites by running into them at high speeds. The second type of anti-satellite weapon are called co-orbital anti-satellite weapons. As the name suggests, they are first launched into orbit and then they change their direction to collide with the targeted satellite from space. Then comes the third type. It is called as non-kinetic anti-satellite weapons. A non-kinetic physical attack is when a satellite is physically damaged without any direct contact. Non-kinetic physical attacks can be characterized into a few types, like electromagnetic pulses, high-powered lasers, and high-powered microwaves. These attacks have medium possible attribution levels and often provide little evidence of success to the attacker. Space agencies have been developing and testing anti-satellite weapons since the 1960s. To date, the US, Russia, China and India have demonstrated the ability to attack satellites in orbit. In 2007, China launched an anti-satellite missile at one of its own weather satellites. And India launched its first such weapon test in 2019. In 2020, Russia launched two such missiles and separately tested another non-destructive space-based anti-satellite technology. So, this was information about the types of anti-satellite weapon and the countries that possesses it. But what is the problem with these weapons? Why is there so much fuss about developing and using these weapons? Well, the answer to that question is the space debris. First of all, what is space debris? It is any piece of machinery or debris left by humans in space. It can refer to big objects such as dead satellites that have failed or been left in orbit at the end of their mission. It can also refer to smaller things, like bits of debris or paint flecks that have fallen off a rocket. Regardless of the cause for which it has been created, space debris is a serious problem. Larger pieces are easier to track and avoid, but it's difficult to track pieces smaller than 4 inches. Also remember that even small debris can pose a major threat. Space debris is often traveling faster than 17,000 miles per hour around the Earth. At that speed, pieces of debris could destroy any spacecraft or satellite it collided with. Like in the 1980s, a Soviet satellite broke up as a result of a suspected debris strike. More worrisome is the danger that the debris poses to the crewed space missions. Like in July 2021, one of the International Space Station's robotic arms was struck by a piece of debris that put a hole right through a part of the arm. While the damage did not need to be fixed, officials characterized it as a lucky strike. If it had struck a different part of the station, the situation could have been a lot worse. Space debris is also a significant threat to people on Earth. Satellites play a vital role in the global economy through GPS, communications, and weather data. If services such as these were disrupted, there would be significant economic cost. One study found that a GPS outage could cost the USA up to $1 billion a day. There are currently thousands of pieces of space junk circling the Earth, with sources as varied as old rocket bodies, dead satellites, debris from previous collisions and tests, and lost items from astronauts. The problem, like with the environment, is that there is little incentive for individual countries to avoid generating debris or clean it up. The amount of space debris has only increased over time. For years, scientists have been warning about the possibility of a collision cascade. As the amount of debris increases, the chance of collisions between it and other satellites and debris also goes up. More collisions might then leave certain orbits completely unusable. While this could take decades to play out, events like the Russian test will only make such an outcome more likely. I hope you have understood the concept of anti-satellite weapons and their impact on the space environment. And also how can it make the space unusable in coming years. Now the next question that comes to mind is, what should we do now? For this we need to understand that, in the short term, little can be done to mitigate this new cloud of space debris, but anyone with anything in space is on high alert to avoid it. The US government and commercial companies are tracking the new debris. And the crew on the International Space Station have been ordered to keep certain modules closed off as they continue to pass through the debris cloud. As the new debris spreads out and the pieces are tracked, station controllers will have a better understanding of the danger posed to the crew. In the long run, experts recommend working on global solutions to remove debris. This includes taking measures to prevent debris in the first place and removing debris that is already in space. Several governmental and international organizations have proposed ways to prevent new debris, but these are informal and not legally binding. Remediation is a tougher challenge. Technology to remove debris has not yet been fully developed, but even still, its deployment is a sensitive subject. The same technology that might be used to remove a piece of space junk could also be used for attacking a satellite. Thus, dual-use technology poses challenges, as it can raise suspicions that countries are testing anti-satellite weapons under the cover of debris removal. Despite the difficulties, there is growing international recognition that space debris is a dangerous problem. A consortium of private companies recently created the Net Zero Space Charter to reduce debris, and the US Space Force is looking for ways to combat the problem as well. While the world still does not yet have a full understanding of Russia's actions, this event is a wake-up call on the importance of efforts to reduce pollution in Earth's orbit. More efforts need to be put in to make sure that individual countries don't use weapons of mass destruction in space. This was all from this video. We tried to understand the concept of anti-satellite weapon and the related concepts like space debris. I hope you understood the topic. For the next few days, there will be regular articles and editorials on Russia's action of launching the anti-satellite weapon. With this much information, you are now equipped to understand the technicalities and arguments of the experts. If you like the video, please do like it, and subscribe to the channel for more such content. Also share it with your friends and colleagues to spread the knowledge. Till we meet in the next video, happy learning, and take care of yourself.